So Amazon saying this morning it's going to lay off about 14,000 corporate employees as it restructures for the AI era.
So I lost my job today.
Why now are we seeing all of these layoffs from some of the country's biggest employers?
We only have 5 years to prepare before the world changes forever. If someone's watching this right now.
What's up, Financial Hawks? It's your man, Eric. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the current economic collapse that's kind of going on right now during the holidays. Again, we have the craziness going on with the SNAP benefits. We got the government employees not getting paid. We got all the job layoffs going on during this time. We got the rise of AI during this time. We got a lot of different stuff going on at this time.
Intel and many other companies are laying off thousands of individuals all at the same time that we have a government shutdown, and we also have the SNAP benefits about to be cut starting November 1st. So you're just going to try to tell me that this is all just a coincidence. The timing is just by chance that everything is collapsing all at once, while at the same exact time, you have Mr. Chip in the Brain himself endorsing and promoting the idea of a universal basic income, or what he likes to call it, a universal high income. Yeah, okay. While at the same exact time, we have this news coming out today where NVIDIA announces partnership with this company right here. All right, so now I'm not sure about you guys, but the symbolism is not lost on me. So we have a company with the name after a literal crystal ball of Lord of the Rings that can see into the future, and then NVIDIA with the all-seeing eye. You combine those two together and you literally get the all-seeing eye of Sauron.
Oh, crazy. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even know Palantir had like another name, I guess, or it was used in other places. Now I'm very intrigued to go ahead and get back into the Lord of the Rings. Didn't even think about that. And the eye from the Palantir to the NVIDIA, very interesting. But yeah, I think this is a very strange time and a very weird coincidence that all of this is going on during the same time, and also too right before the holidays. Very, very strange right there. But this has not just happened right now. This has kind of been going on for a minute. AI has kind of slowly at first, I remember when it popping up and it was all cool, and then bam, it's just like that, taking jobs. The influx of not being able to get a job, the influx of people having to put in applications, etc., that's been going on for a minute, and it seems like it's even at a higher point now with even more job layoffs too. So all this stuff had kind of just been in the works for a minute, and it kind of so slowly all building up together during this point. So is this is like the time during the holidays that it will pop and then you'll get back to normal again, or is it going to pop and, I don't know, rise again in another completely different direction? I guess time will tell. But if you are currently in the job market, I wish you the best of luck. And if you're a college student right now, I'm going to really wish you the best of luck, because a lot of stuff going on right now. So if you are in college, it's probably a good time for you right now to go ahead and try to find other avenues to make money as well. Maybe content creation or things that you want to do. Maybe if you're in cybersecurity right now in school, you can go ahead and make content of you doing cybersecurity stuff and XYZ and becoming like a name in that space, just so that you have more credibility, more reputation, and may have a higher chance to get in some type of role. Maybe not as an entry level, but you may end up being at a higher position that makes sense that AI hasn't already taken already. But yeah, it's getting crazy and it's going to continue.
The economy is going to crash. Everybody's suffering greatly. All the experts are saying it. And not only that, but I just went to my local animal shelter today because I like to go in there sometimes with my kids to interact with the animals. It's good for the animals, it's good for my kids, and it's a fun time. And I went there today just to go look at some cats and look at some dogs. And while I was there, the amount of animals that were surrendered willingly is insane to me. I have never before seen that amount of surrenders. Usually what you see a lot of in an animal shelter, coming from somebody who volunteered at an animal shelter for all 4 years of my high school experience, usually a lot of what you see isn't surrenders. It's usually animals being found. It's usually strays. You do sometimes see surrenders, of course, but the majority of the animals are usually strays, especially cats. And when I was there, damn near all of the animals that were there for adoption were surrendered animals by their owners. And it is absolutely heartbreaking. And it is just going to show, it just goes to show how bad our economy is, that people are having to give up their pets, their family. That is absolutely fucking depressing.
Now, that actually may be a big indicator of the economy that I didn't even think about. Usually, I want to say I've heard somewhere before, and it seemed like to be true, is like once you see like devices and different stuff like that, like the demand for that going down, like, hey, I don't have money to spend at the strip club or XYZ, or maybe drinking, is a bad time. And then I've heard like the opposite, where when those increase to a crazy amount, then you may be in a wild time too. Like, okay, nothing's going on right now for me, but at least I can buy some alcohol. So those sales are still going up. But I didn't think about this, the actual pets. She said there's a record amount of surrenders going on, and I'm intrigued to look into this further. Maybe I might do a whole other video talking about this on the animal side of things. But I didn't think about that, because you really have to be in a desperate time to like be like, man, I like you. I've been, I grew up since you were a little kitten, but I just not able to keep buying food, keep buying, stuff for you, cat litter. I just don't have that money. I can barely feed myself right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just have to surrender you. And yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people who have multiple pets probably are experiencing this right now too. I didn't even think about that aspect of it. So maybe going on, I may have to look at the animal part too, or like the people pets side of things too, because if the economy was doing good, you wouldn't be seeing people surrendering their animals like that. And like especially like what you're talking about, it being like record high, and not that many strays are getting put in these places. It's just people who have been having the animals for a while, who love these animals, obviously, even love them enough to not just put them out, just throw them out, but to give them to shelters that hopefully another family can come and help them out. So yeah, if you have experienced this, I want to hear your thoughts. And also too, if you do have any pets and you are experiencing this craziness going on right now, but you still have your pet, have you thought about giving them up? Or what type of other ways have you found that be able to still help them out, still be able to provide food for them? Definitely intrigued. Yeah, like that's a good point, because again, you may be struggling, so you may end up having to move to another state, or sure, you may end up moving to a whole other country, and you're just not able to afford, your current situation with your current pet. So you're hoping that another family can help you out on that.
Am I positive that this is going to be a collapse in terms of the job market, which then is going to lead to obviously a catastrophic economic collapse, is because this is inevitable. I know business, I know math. And so when you tell a giant corporation that is publicly traded on the stock market, you can make more money by doing X, unless X is illegal. And sometimes even if it is illegal, they will do X, period. End of question. In fact, if they don't do X, they will be fired. They have a fiduciary responsibility to maximize profit. And if the first guy doesn't do it, you remove that CEO, you bring in the next CEO. So is Amazon going to be cutting their jobs drastically over these next set of years because they can? Yes, obviously. Sometimes I read these articles and they make it seem like it's like, oh, they might or they might not. And then Amazon puts out a statement, oh, don't worry, we're hiring seasonal help, right? Guys, absolutely inevitable. There is no publicly traded company that can cut costs and doesn't do it. So they're going to take out a huge chunk of their workers. But of course, this isn't just about Amazon. Amazon is just symbolic. That's going to be a wave that hits that industry, guaranteed. That is a very AI prone industry. So UPS, Walmart, many others that are affected by that. And then, of course, almost all other industries. You saw there, again, the original founder talking about how the white-collar jobs are in a lot of trouble, like paralegals and others. Middle management is in huge trouble. So we're going to lose an unbelievable percentage of the jobs in this country. And then people think, oh, no, the stock market, it's AI. And
Yeah, it's definitely crazy times. I recently seen a video. They were talking about this, how all these jobs are having all these different layoffs, XYZ, but their stocks are still high. And they were talking about, like if you're getting a whole bunch of layoffs, especially during the holiday time, your stocks are going to be down. But some of these people are getting record high stocks on top of laying a whole bunch of people off. So it's getting wild. It's getting wild. I like that he talked about the different groups of people also losing their jobs or have the potential to lose their jobs, and not just the lower people. It's the people at the top of the job, or I guess maybe more in the middle management positions as well. So it's like, you really got to be, on your toes during this time. Again, no matter what type of job you're in, just be wary and find ways to utilize AI to help you out, to make you better at your job. Again, this right now has been talking about the AI that's not physical. Once the AI becomes physical, what we've been seeing videos already about different AIs within like the next 5 years getting, robotic parts, right? Like humanoid bodies. Then we're going to be seeing a huge displacement because now all these jobs that, hey, we need somebody to pick this up, do X, Y, Z. Now we have the artificial intelligence in the AI, artificial intelligence, in these humanoid bodies being able to lift up and do all the manual stuff that we needed human bodies for. Then we're going to be seeing a real displacement. That's when we're going to be seeing a huge and even, I would say, even larger amount of jobs either being lost. Two robots. And again, I know next year they were talking about this other robot that's coming out in 2026. It was like $20,000 or $500 a month that could do your laundry, I want to say, and do your dishes or whatnot. I think it's still like in prototype phase because I think currently right now they have somebody remoting into the machine to do everything. But we're getting close. We're getting closer and closer and closer. I know we got the Tesla bots. Also, I want to say they can like make food and whatnot. So we're getting closer there. So again, even if you're in something that's physical, with your hands, I will still be, looking. Maybe you could, if you're in college or maybe not in college, maybe you're in high school, you may want to look at maybe being like an electrician or something along those lines. Something that I guess technically speaking, I guess a robot could do eventually in the future, but it may take a minute and you may be doing electrician work for those robots. So yeah, you could be the top person then for sure. And you may want to look into other type of jobs that you can be the person that utilizing the replacements and software upgrades and XYZ for the machines. But yeah, 2026, 2027, 2028, definitely intrigued to see how things going to end up going with this.
Really early warning signs an economic collapse has begun.
Delays in basic government payments. Well, that's happening right now. Identical language in news and official statements. 2020 reminds me of this. Another thing that's happening right now, law enforcement quietly deploys riot gear and barricades. Community services quietly start failing. This happened in Philly. And this, new digital compliance systems are rolled out quietly, like crypto. Also talks about what to do and have ready before the next Great Depression, how the U.S. went broke in the coming crisis, forgotten lessons from the Great Depression you will soon need. Even talks about this, the looming debt crisis and what it means for you. It even talks about the first U.S. states that'll go down after the dollar collapses. I think this is a fantastic resource. It's going to protect you, your family, and your friends from the next Great Depression. With everything that's been happening around the United States, they've been having trouble keeping these in stock. This is the Dollar Apocalypse, your survival guide for the next Great Depression. There's an orange shopping cart somewhere down.
Would you guys want me to read the Dollar Apocalypse survival guide? It may actually be something fun that we could do. Maybe doing like a chapter a month, not a month, a chapter a week. Yeah, that actually may, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to make a note on my phone to get that book, The Economic Collapse. Because yeah, I think that would be something interesting to see, I guess, how many of those topics have currently happened or on the horizon of happening. Again, this isn't my only book on this. This isn't the only person talking about this. I'm pretty sure if you type in economic collapse anywhere, you'll be seeing countless videos talking about different signs that we've been seeing over the last few years and the rampant, I guess, increase of all these after 2020, after COVID. So yeah, I'm definitely intrigued on that book. But yeah, all societies, I guess, at some point have went down or collapsed at some time period. I don't think this is going to be like the end of America, like during this time, but I think it will definitely make a shift. I think all of this craziness going on, all this is going to make a shift. I don't know which way it's going to end up going, but this shift will not only affect like the United States, Canada, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to affect the whole entire world. Again, with the AI coming and they're getting the humanoid bodies on top of SNAP benefits getting discontinued, on top of the government employees not getting paid, on top of the huge job layoffs here, for sure, lots of other places as well. On top of this, on top of this, on top of this, there's going to be some type of change. Again, I don't know exactly which way it's going to go, but let me know in the comments which way you think it's going to end up going. It'd be cool if we end up going like the Star Trek route. I'm not going to lie, because on Star Trek, I don't think they even have money, or they do it some type of different way that everybody's happy for the most part, right? So yeah, maybe, hey, that would be cool. That would be cool. But again, I'm going to look into the Star Trek series too to see how they got to their current economic place. Maybe something like this happened and then they end up changing it. But, that's just me being happy. happy.
We have 5 years to prepare before the world changes forever. If someone's watching this right now and they do nothing, what does their life look like in 2030?
The whole economic system gets weird, starts growing at an accelerated rate. The value doesn't accrue to us. Our savings have been debased, so they're basically worthless. And so the uncertainty becomes massive. I, for my whole career of 30 years, have invested in looking into the future and saying, where's the world going to go? And here we've got to the first place ever for me. I have no fucking idea. And so if I've no idea, considered an expert in doing this, nobody really knows. The governments have no idea what's happening. I'm thinking, okay, well, if I'm right, we've got about 5 years to sort our shit out. This is going to be the biggest change to human civilization in its history, because we were always the top of the tree. Now we're not. We're the next rung down. Then eventually there'll be artificial superintelligence, which will mean that the regular AI will be the next rung down, will be the third rung down. So if that's the case, the easiest way to get through it is to try and make as much money as possible now so you're buffered from it. And investing is the only way.
We only have 5 years. Again, this is not the only video we've been looking at this, but 5 years. That's the point. That's the point. So whatever you're currently doing right now, this is the time to really think about things and see where you will be at in 5 years. If you want to go ahead and start that YouTube channel, start that content, this is your time right now. Don't wait until 5 years, until what the AI humanoid bots are at these jobs and at these places. All the freaking cars, instead of having an Uber, you have the AI Uber taking over. Instead of waiting until the fan hits, go ahead and grind right now to be able to beat that. Right now, again, if you start a YouTube channel right now, and you really put some time and effort into that, in 5 years, you can definitely have a full-time income for sure. I'm not gonna say you have a full-time income in a year or two, but if you put in the time and effort, 5 years, you have the potential, like a good chance to actually make some type of money at the very least. If you have a goal or like a skill set, it's a great time to find ways to utilize AI to help you out with that skill set, possibly. So again, that you're in a better position. But again, this is not the only video. We've looked at countless videos of people talking about this 5 year span. I know for sure we're going to be seeing higher AI, higher, more intelligent AI. The humanoid AI robots, I think that's going to be probably one of like the big things. Maybe in 2030, the machine body is going to be able to pretty much do whatever. It will be at a point where it can do things that will take an employee to learn maybe in a week or two. It has the knowledge, has the data, so it's able to do it first day. No timeout, no PTO, no XYZ. It's able to do it. It's its own point. And then you got the Uber. I know with the Uber, they're talking about like allowing people in between rides to like do a little task. I think little AI task. I think to help out with AI again. I think good to pick certain things and XYZ. So it's training the AI. I believe I've seen other videos talking about this too, but I believe that's going to also be a case where Uber is going to be more with the AI. I think you should have the robo taxi type of situations going on there. You already got trucking and everything else. They're already been trying to get that to AI. 5 years, 6 years. That could be something that we're going to be seeing a whole lot more of the AI. Again, trucks on the road. We're already seeing that years ago. They've been talking about that and been grinding. They've YouTube videos talking about that years ago. So I can just imagine where they'll be at 5 years from now, especially with the influx of money going towards AI. So that's another big point that's going on. I'm pretty sure that there might be other things I might not even be aware of that also may be happening within these next 5 years that will really affect the economy. So if you are interested in not, again, just being a regular person or being, I don't know, super poor in the next 5 years, this is your time to go ahead and start grinding right now. Don't wait again till the fan hits you in the face. I know a lot of people are, but if you don't want to be that, if you want to actually have some type of future for yourself, I would start trying to upskill yourself right now. Maybe get into AI and machine learning right now. If you're still in school, still in high school, or if you're older than that, find ways that you can utilize AI in your day-to-day to make you better. Try to get to higher positions in whatever type of career that you're in, but definitely don't stay at the bottom and expect nothing to happen to you. I'm gonna definitely wish you good luck though on that.
Why now are we seeing all of these layoffs from some of the country's biggest employers? Amazon's cutting 14,000 jobs. UPS more than 30,000 jobs. Target just announced that it's axing 1,800 corporate positions. A survey by ADP showed that 32,000 jobs were lost in the private sector in September alone. Some companies are redirecting money towards investments in AI. So not just AI replacing jobs, but throwing money towards that. Some companies have pointed towards rising operating costs because of President Trump's new tariffs. And people aren't spending as much, so some companies are choosing to restructure. It didn't just start recently. The cuts from tech giants have already been underway. For example, Microsoft back in July announced it was going to cut 9,000 jobs. So what will all of this mean for the job market heading into 2026? Why now are we seeing all?
And yeah, that's one of the questions I've been having, and we've been seeing a lot of other people have as well. So you're seeing that rise of the AI, right? You're seeing the whole bunch of jobs getting laid, massive layoffs and whatnot there. But how, like, what are all these people going to end up doing? So, like, for Amazon, for example, if they're laying off everybody, who are going to be buying their products, right? It's going like, are they going to be relying just on the top people, the top rich people, the top 1% of people just to buy everything from everybody? So either they're going to have to be some type of way for regular people to be able to get some type of income, right? Maybe they want some of these people just to, I don't know, disappear. So there's less people. So then it might be some type of balance between the humans and AI. On another one, I guess the UBI, maybe we actually may be able to see the UBI coming around this time. I guess possibly Yang, when he was talking about that, 10 plus years ago, maybe the universal basic income may become a thing maybe during this time period. I'm not exactly for sure. I want you guys to let me know in the comments which way you think this is going to end up going. And again, with all these layoffs and AI and XYZ, how do you think these companies plan on still making money if nobody is able to afford anything in the first place? Let me know.
I'm saying this morning it's going to lay off about 14,000 corporate employees as it restructures for the AI era, marking the latest move in a multi-year effort to streamline operations and shift resources toward its biggest bets, including generative AI. Now, in a blog post, Amazon's HR chief, Beth Galetti, said that the cuts are aimed at reducing layers and bureaucracy so that the company can move faster. She called AI the most transformative technology since the internet and said Amazon needs to be leaner to keep pace. The company has about 350,000 corporate employees, meaning that the confirmed cuts affect roughly 4% of that workforce. But what I will say is that those layoffs are expected to become the largest corporate job cuts in Amazon's history. Reuters reporting the total could go as high as 30,000. And the company did signal this morning that more layoffs are likely in the year ahead, even as it continues hiring in key strategic areas. It was also just this June that CEO Andy Jassy warned AI adoption would lead to fewer roles in some parts of the business. So Amazon saying this morning.
Now, one thing I actually got from this too that a lot of people may not be thinking about. Again, this doesn't apply to all these different jobs that are having these layoffs, but a good amount of like the tech ones, for example, during COVID, during that crazy time, they were hiring a lot of people. I remember hearing stories about people who were applying to jobs during this time period. Like they didn't even have to apply. They just had to just sneeze and they're getting like freaking 50,000 jobs. And then the jobs are paying, tons amount of money. So yeah, I am sure throughout these years after that big surge, these positions are going to be cut because they actually found out that they didn't need all these extra people. But now I'm thinking we're getting to that point where, yeah, we dropped all those extra people that we've gotten during COVID. Now they're just going to be dropping people, and they're going to keep on dropping people and dropping people and dropping people. So I don't know exactly how far it's going to end up going. That's the magic answer. I guess if I knew that magic answer, maybe this channel will be millions of subscribers if I had the magic key to that answer as well. So not only having the magic answer to that, but also being able to solve that. That's the key. That is the key. If you guys know in the comments, I want to hear your thoughts on what you think would be able to solve this. Because again, we have the AI, artificial intelligence, right? Like on the software side, digital side. Within the next 5 years, they're already talking about the humanoid robots with the AI in them. So all the manual different jobs. Now you have a machine that's even more, faster. Doesn't have to work. Doesn't have to sleep. Doesn't have to have PTO. Can consistently work. Can be very meticulous. Can look at things that you won't be able to see. Can work faster than you, smarter than you. You got that on the horizon. You also got the robot, AI taxis and XYZ becoming more of a thing. I know they like over here. I know in Texas, yeah, it's not Turo, but it's like one of these companies already that in 2026 they're going to be implementing it in Dallas, but they've already been to Austin. I want to say a few other cities here, and they're already testing out the AI. I forgot the name of the freaking company, but it's like a robot taxi type thing, but it's like AI driven. So yeah, that's about to come to Dallas. I'm pretty sure other big cities also have this. So that's going to become more of the norm. And that's, again, it's like already here. Like this isn't like something brand new, like, oh, in 10 years, 15 years. No, that's already here. So I'm not really seeing regular Uber drivers being a thing like 10, 15, 20 years from now. I'm just not really seeing that. So if you are in that type of position, you may have to end up thinking of other ways to make income, or again, trying to find ways that you can utilize AI yourself so that you can make some of this big money. Because again, there's a lot of big money moving around at the same time. Yeah, we are having all the layoffs. Yeah, we have XYZ, this and that. But if you can get yourself into some of this AI or other stuff that can continue to make money, you have that chance to make some big money yourself. So it's not over for everybody, but yeah, it's gonna be over for quite a number of people right now. So, just stay ready, stay prepared, upskill if you need be, and just don't give up on yourself, guys. But this is the time. This is the time right now. This is everybody saying that 5-year, 2030. It's all or nothing right here for a lot of people. So this is your time right now to either be somebody or just let the world take you over. It's up to you right now. But anyway, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.